Back, everyone. Next up, we have SmartCard Marketing Systems, Inc., trades on the OTCQB under the symbol SMKG, and is an industry leader in specialized industry commerce, cloud, and mobility applications, delivering white label solutions to the global paytech and fintech markets, and a boutique technology company providing business intelligence and digital transformation strategies with a proprietary portfolio of applications and wireframes for banking, enterprises, and retail e-wallets offering blockchain protocols, crypto issuing, NFT minting, tokenization, digital ID, EKYC, digital automation strategies with license to own marketplace applications. Please welcome the CEO, Massimo Barone. Welcome, Massimo.
Hi, and thank you for having me here today.
All right, thrilling industry you're in. We're excited to hear your presentation. Take it away.
Thank you very much. It's been quite the year and quite the kickoff. I'm the CEO of SmartCard Marketing Systems and co-founder of the company. We specialize in, as Anna mentioned, fintech, payments, and blockchain. And those are part of a service of what we do at SmartCard Marketing. Our end game is to fast track adoption by limiting CapEx. SmartCard provides cloud and mobility commerce strategies through white label licensing of its technology marketplaces and applications with embedded payments. Obviously, we focus on cross-border FX rails, blockchain protocols as a service. What does that mean? It means today's environment has completely changed, and financial institutions and enterprises are looking for ways to fast track and market entry, the right tools and utilities to basically put into the marketplace to retain their customers or gain traction with new ones. At the same time, SmartCard developed a commerce strategy where we'll introduce that strategy today, where we develop our own commercial platforms. We then white label license them to financial institutions who have large pool of customers. Assisting me today here is Dharmesh Vora. He's the president of our enterprise solutions for white labeling systems to those financial institutions, enterprises, and telecoms across the globe. I'm in Montreal, Canada, and Dharmesh resides in Mumbai, India, and the rest of our team is in the Philippines and in Singapore. Next, Dharmesh. SmartCard Marketing Systems, Inc., as you know, is a public company listed on the OTC markets. So recently, we uplisted to the OTCQB. Our tech suite of proprietary applications for enabling clients and partners with cloud mobility, blockchain, e-commerce strategies for that digital acceleration. We have $3.5 million invested and $7 million in paid up capital. This is a showcase spotlight on SmartCard's IP portfolio. All our own proprietary 22 plus applications that specialize, very focused on marketplace technology. You might recognize that as an ecosystem or network with what we call a multi-tenant environment, meaning a financial institution who has multiple types of merchants or corporate accounts, possibly treasury clients on a very large scale, and require a system that will offer multi-porting of those customers with embedded payment infrastructure as that service. And that's really where we focus in on in the business. Next, Dharmesh. So what do we know today? Digital money has seen a dynamic change and is now part of a more fluid digital infrastructure. Its behavior with the adoption of token economic models and decentralized ecosystems is more complex across various streams of exchange. Essentially, as you've probably all witnessed in the last 6 months or last 2 months aggressively, the US, SEC, and other governing bodies across the world are really coming down on this whole new stream of exchange. What does it mean for the economies and how will it evolve and get regulated? And SmartCard plays an important role because we have to interpret those regulations and then make them as a viable solution with a business process for these customers in multiple markets. And many times today, there's a large crossover. So our technology sits as infrastructure, what we call back-end, either middleware or sometimes client-facing. And SmartCard is able to provide the complete ecosystem to what we call Know Your Network. Industry problem, FIs and enterprises globally are facing digital transformation, cross-border challenges, and need to adapt, but also minimize or eliminate upfront CapEx. At SMKG, the solution, we believe that offering marketplace multi-tenant platforms as a service, minimizing or eliminating upfront CapEx is the beginning of a new digital era. And this really talks or speaks to our offering. When we design a wireframe or develop a solution, our intent is to put up the capital upfront, build out the business intelligence, provide the regulatory framework, which we'll get into, and then white label the solution for the client's needs in those specific markets or sector. And depending on if it's a financial solution, enterprise, association, across many industries, we're able to prepare and provide our wireframe for those customers. Next. So what's driving the industry and how does the SMKG hit on all these several marks? And we believe our portfolio speaks to these exact problems. The MasterCard CEO recently stated that I think we're going to have a world where everything will be tokenized and will be passed around in a safe fashion. This is true. I'm a veteran in the payment business for 26 years. I've always built, developed products and certified. I'm not a Me Too person. So everything we develop is with a core strategy. What this speaks to is that, as you know, blockchain is a derivative product from tokenization, which started in the card business years ago and has now evolved into everything tokenized in a security environment. And that's really where we shine. Also, speaking to AI, everyone probably knows the recent success of ChatGPT, their CEO, and what AI has done for infrastructure and allowed companies like ourselves to benefit because it brings a spotlight on AI. We have our own AI system and chatbot, which we'll get to, and how we access their innovative skills to enhance our libraries. And that speaks to both ChatGPT and recently Google Bard, and gives us an edge on a middle market where we can place our products really focused on payment and cross-border task automation. Speaking to that, Western Union, also CEO, sees digital driving global remittance growth. We'll speak to where SmartCard sits in that part of the world and our offering of AxePay, which is a global cross-border payment system and payment network because of the sponsorships we have signed across the globe. Next. As you know, digital wallets have been around, so to speak, or super apps now is the new term. ARK Invest, digital wallets are scaling faster than accounts at traditional financial institutions. Now, this is true across the globe. There's a chart here to show the accelerated growth and pro forma style of where they anticipate. These are sector disruptors, would typically take a decade. Today, they can disrupt in under a year. And what we mean by that specifically is that disruption happens in an explosion or implosion method. It's something we see coming, sometimes we don't, and all of a sudden, sometimes it's widespread. The SmartCard portfolio of IP speaks to these exact solutions. And when we say we hit the mark, we have technology, ecosystem, marketplace technology with a super wallet lifestyle system that encompasses managing a multi-tenant, multi-customer card environment. Next. Our path to success by achieving a combination of offerings for digital transformation with over the 22 IP. Where we speak to this in our white label and cloud offerings is that we really customize for financial institutions or those enterprises. Minimal work has to be done, so we don't have a large exposure to CapEx internally as well. And we then partner with them on the network as well. So the client becomes a partner. The use of embedded payments, blockchain utilities, AI, compliance, and regulatory framework create these efficiencies and fast-track deployments. And what we've done at SmartCard is that we've created three buckets or three solution centers on how we deliver these products to market. And these enhancements come through our portfolio of IP with embedded payment infrastructure and cross-border where we shine because that's our expertise. And we'll also further explain our partnership and minority ownership in XPay, which is a terminal management host system to manage payment technology infrastructure for acquirers and issuers. let's start off with solution one, enabling tokens as a service. Let's jump to the next slide prior going into the solution center. So we call ourselves a multi-industry enabler because we fit across the whole spectrum, from agriculture to mining to anything that requires an ecosystem, payment functionality, connecting vendors and customers all on one network in a trusted environment across different platforms. And our strategy is to bring that wireframe in a form of technology as a service or wireframe as a service. And these are the different variations that we cater to by sector. So banking as a service, payment as a service, platform as a service, recently artificial intelligence as a service. So in this white labeling structure, our wireframe caters to very specific models that these customers of ours can lean into their portfolio, activate their business channels, generate revenue as a service, and have that fast track into their customer or new customer acquisition. Next. Today's economy, as you know, and infrastructure has changed. The introduction of blockchain, crypto, stable coins, and the whole variation now encompassing central bank coins as well. You've probably heard all the chaos going on. Some is really pleasant, some is not so favorable because of regulatory framework. So you have to imagine that customers today, whether it be a bank or whether it be a credit union or government or even a standard merchant at the small trade shop, they want to participate or they need to understand what economic network they're on and how do they enter this market. So you've probably heard about centralized stable coins or decentralized finance for stable coins. These are just two different variations on how these networks work. So you have to imagine stepping back a little bit, where the go-to-market or the entry to market for financial institutions or customers need to basically facilitate both. And that's where our technology comes in, where we can facilitate multiple channels on how they interact, process payments, transfer these tokens or cryptocurrency or variations, all so that they can have a regulated, safe environment, risk-free, and be able to monetize on these transactions in the new economy, such as banks needing to lend directly to their customers or lend through these decentralized channels in order for them to participate in this new economy. Next. Here we're presenting solution one. This is called Granular Chain. This is an in-house proprietary product. It's a business intelligence solution that allows for multi-tier relationship management, the creation of digital IDs using tokenization, EKYC or EKYB, which means know your client. So this creates a trusted network. We use a specialized tokenized system, which in the industry might be considered a HSM or a host security module, which encrypts and decrypts the passage of information, the users on the network, so that you can have this proper exchange of trusted information and data. It could be smart contracts, it could be documents in a company, it could be public sharing of information, digital passports, which you understand that governments are trying to get very involved in today, and also to manage the unknowns in blockchain. As you know, blockchain is a ledger type technology. We don't necessarily know who's behind the transactions. This allows you or the bank or institution to take on digital assets or transition with digital assets, even for lending or securing, in an environment where they can first do their investigation on the client or proper regulatory compliance, and then allow for transaction flow in. So we coin, next, this is fine, Dharmesh, thank you. What we call a super app, our marketplace ecosystem, e-commerce for mobility and wallet. Our generosity platform is a multi-tenant system allowing for 2 layers of payment, one by the white label partner or bank. The second is by any of the tenants in the system. So it could be stores, malls, association, It could be airlines. It doesn't matter what they apply the application to. As you can see by the wireframe, we manage the interconnectivity as well as the payment infrastructure that has to go out. To my right, there's a chart that explains all the major partners today in crypto and blockchain and everything that has to now come into the whole payment ecosystem. And in order to properly do this, you need the proper technology. So this is a client-facing technology as well as a middleware. At the same time, we connect to the financial institution and we allow them to connect their vendors and participating partners in the ecosystem so their customers can enjoy the benefits with their merchants to transfer payments, to microloans, card issuing, embedded finance, and anything that might come into that marketplace for them. Next. This is a feature suite of the Generosity platform. It's very vast. We have a whole suite of utilities and third-party partners that make up the complete ecosystem of the platform. We're having a great success in white labeling Generosity in the US, in the Philippines, and recently in Africa. Money remitters are a great clientele for us, as well as some retail operations who are looking to bring in their franchise and non-franchise locations or satellite locations in one system with a multi-payment network system to facilitate clients. Next. Solution 2. This is our cross-border payments and FX automation system. The AxePay platform is not only is it a treasury payment system with business intelligence, web and mobile for customers, for B2B, B2C, and peer-to-peer. We work with sponsored partners in the industry that are MSBs who have a onboarding network globally, as well as some domestic financial institutions in those residing countries, which are all connected onto the AxePay platform. In addition, we white label an extension of AxePay to service partners who require the framework in order to provide this service to their clients, in order to facilitate digital onboarding, FX automation, all the way down to payouts and collection of funds globally on the net. As you can see, we've expanded the onboarding capability to 55 countries across the world through our partners and MSB licenses. So we're able to facilitate single or multiple corridors that are unique to the customer's requirements or institution. If we go to the next one, Dharmesh. This is what the excuse me. This is what the framework looks for AxePay. Financial service partner portal, partner reseller portal, corporate and merchant accounts, and recipients, businesses, individuals. What makes this very specifically unique is that today in the financial markets, where money exchange, knowing both sides of the transaction is vital for compliance and regulatory and reducing risk and government involvement. We have a special tokenized system that allows for key swap between the institution, the partner, and the beneficiary or recipient of the funds globally. So this invites them to register, allow the financial institution to know who their customers are dealing with for audit and review and analysis, and minimizing risk assessment. We now go into solution 3. This is a different dynamic altogether. We've been working on in the last 2 years a very large portfolio of integrated partners, many that you might recognize. We enable multiple layers of embedded payment solutions and can onboard merchants with their existing credentials or unified payment environment. What this means is, once we've embedded these partners into our systems, when we white label them out to our clients, they benefit from any of these participating partners. And that's a huge advantage because we don't lose time bringing them into the market. We set them up directly with the partners to benefit from cost acquisition contracts and agreements in order to activate these specific services. And the benefit of having a broader reach in multiple markets that are serviced by these existing embedded partners. One example today is Ingenico, which we'll get into later, is a global manufacturer of devices. through our subsidiary minority in the Philippines. We became their partner, and one of our applications is sitting on their newest devices, which just recently launched in Singapore and several days ago in Morocco, in Marrakesh, where we were spotlighted to many of their customers globally for an integrated solution to provide instant MPOS and EMV through our terminal management host switch. Next. This is XPay. As you can see, XPay is a terminal management system as a host system offering for end-to-end payments. This is a much more complex infrastructure for acquirers and issuers, where we certify to their host acquiring or directly to the major card schemes for their solution under their license provision. That would be MasterCard, Visa, JCB, American Express, China UnionPay, to name a few of the more popular ones, and debit rails. So we allow them to provide and build up their own payment scheme, and then we become their resource center for their product channel and their customers. We white label the solution entirely. We also add the extra layer of SmartCard's portfolio, which sits on top of the XPay TMS host as an integrated embedded payment infrastructure, allowing the technologies to work in tandem and seamlessly, which makes it a direct offering for financial institutions to offer their treasury clients like airlines, transporters, on-the-go businesses, even retail, who want to be able to customize a solution. So breaking away from the legacy, moving into more dynamic, build your own payment solutions. Next, Dharmesh. What does it all mean? The SMKG offering creates a truly disruptive capability of delivering end-to-end suite of digital commerce solutions with the ability to deliver a cross-border payments network and payments technology, mobility, and e-commerce gateway architecture for FIs and enterprises, acquirers and issuers from one house. So we are a truly full stop 360-degree environment, from back-end to middleware to client-facing solutions. We can work with partners within the three silos, or we can deliver the complete channel for the client direct to market in any market. Next. SMKG, some of our global channel sales partnerships. Compute Infocom, a giant in the space for cloud and mobility in India, the SARC region in Emirates, are now representing us in a partnership to sell SmartCard's portfolio and services into their SaaS lines of business. We've went through a vigorous process of training executives and bringing the solution to a host in India with partnerships like Mumbai FinTech, which is the government arm for investing in fintech partnerships. SmartCard has become a great resource in that environment, working with government and banking partners in the region to deliver the whole portfolio. As mentioned recently, cashless inclusion and payment led embedded banking platform with Premise in Marrakesh a few days ago with Ingenico on the grand stage. Gary Eptrick and Sebastian Romberg, our partner interest in the Philippines and in Singapore, delivering a combined strategy solution globally with Ingenico at their World Summit kickoff, providing our suite of solutions to their global list of clients and sales partners worldwide. And we're looking for a very exciting time. Some partnerships have already been formed, and prospective customers on revamping their old terminal systems and their new introduction of smart terminals into the marketplace in many markets. Next. Some client highlights. Canacash in Africa, we're delivering a Generosity platform and XP platform to them to deploy in the US and in two markets, Sierra Leone and Liberia, where they have money service licenses. Our whole solution is providing them and their customers a seamless system to have a super wallet and cross-border system built into one functionality. Recently, we completed a structured deal with Facilita Pay Brazil in Mexico, allowing SmartCard to have our platform sit on their payment infrastructure in many parts of Latin America, but our key focus was Brazil and Mexico for our customers. ICICI Bank, which has been a longstanding customer of SmartCard, using our Check 21 platform for remote deposit capture for their branches in Canada and their corporate treasury clients from remote locations. Recent add-on customer, Cambio Real, Brazil, US corridor, SmartCard through our, again, platform, plus relationship sponsors in the US, which is a state bank, providing Cambio Real with a channel to bring their business through our technology and services. Next. Now, I just want to highlight the SmartCard itself, some of the achievements that we've done for the company on a filing perspective. Recently, on January 31st, after a series of filings and observations with the SEC, we were made effective of our S1 on January 31st, 2023. After filing the 343RB prospectus, just a few days ago, we qualified and became a reporting issuer, and our status changed from OTCQB ARS to OTCQB reporting issuer. And we are currently filing in Canada in the province of Quebec. Once we finish working with the Securities Commission of the province, we anticipate a fast-track regulatory approval revocation to also resume trading in Canada. Next. These are transactional highlights recently for our AI and digital asset tokenization. We recently kicked off a platform that's very specific for NFT, which we call NFT Limited Series. It's a sequential version of producing an NFT, always maintaining a non-fungible, non-fungible series, but with the exception where there's a sequential series participation to the original master. This also works for items we're working in DNA, luxury goods, patents, video formulae for some pharmaceutical companies, bank checks in production of single NFTs, equity, and digital assets. Originator X, which we acquired commercial rights to in 2021, and we took over completion of the platform and developed a complete digital issuing system and audit system for multi-blockchain protocols, issuing, underwriting, audit, and also smart contracts on Ethereum and Algorand to date. One successful specific area of focus was the acquisition of library code, which completed in 2022. We completed a 100% acquisition of source code library of a working chatbot AI system. And we rebranded it as A Bot's Life. Assisted peer-to-peer transactions in finance and payments, walkthrough applications for eKYC, assisting clients to transition and perform their tasks for a financial institution, banking loans and applications, and also now crypto. So gives you an understanding of where we sit and why we did the acquisition. We believe that this one specific area of task automation across multiple of our platforms for our banks and enterprise customers is an easy win and plug-in, adding more revenue because of the automation. Next. Our goal is to develop infrastructure for payments and blockchain technology for an easy launch. Intellectual property as an offering for financial institutions and enterprises to service their corporate accounts and retail customers. What we aim at SmartCard is we want to own the IP outright. We want to partner and sell to customers, also provide a whole conduit for them to activate their client business. Strategically, owning our IP allows us to take the direction we want in several markets. So in key markets where banks are either dealing with ISOs or processors, other markets where banks own the clients outright with no middlemen. So our intent at SmartCard was to fit both models and encompass this white label solution as a service, but also as a partner. And I'll call to Anna now to see if there's any questions or anything.
Yes, great job, Massimo. Due to time, let's see if we can get one or two questions in, and I'll try to condense some of them. Deshaun and Alan are asking a little bit about how many revenue verticals do you have? So can you explain that? Because there is a lot going on with your company.
Sure. So from a technology side, we have licensing fees and then transaction fees and activation fees. That's from our software technology side of the business. On the second side, we actually, because of our partner channels, we make revenues from interchange fees from transactions when we're the primary underwriter with an acquirer. In the FX, we also participate in the FX commission participation for the cross-border services. And then we generate funds in the audit and review process under our service level contracts. So technically we have three different channels, but we participate at all levels unless we're onboarding a customer that's with an existing partner. Then it's licensing and transaction, and we don't participate in the FX or interchange if they're with an existing member.
Thank you for that. And last question from James Brannon. Who is your biggest competitor?
So our competitor would sit in multiple categories. We don't have one that encompasses this whole environment because from our standpoint, we're truly the only one in the space that owns the technology outright entirely of the whole network. Many compete in the space, but have multiple partners that have to deal with multiple systems, which is very difficult to navigate. On our super app side, we could look at a Marqeta. On the TMS side, there's large processors in the US, which could, if they did more white label, but they're more directly in the channel. We're really trying to stay an independent white label service company where the client owns the customers. So, and then in the cross-border space, as you know, there's companies like Zelle, Venmo, all participating in some form of cross-border system. We like to think that we sit as a network, not so much as the facilitating partner. And I think that gives us the advantage of white labeling the system to those clients and participating on the network as a service.
Wonderful. Well, this is fascinating stuff, Massimo. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'd love to have you back with some updates.
Pleasure, Anna. Thank you so much.
Okay, everyone, stay with us. We'll be right back with our next presenter.